Hello, dear friends, welcome to our YouTube channel, USA Football Zone, latest football highlights. Some rivalries are confined merely by geography, others, by history, but the Argentina versus Brazil is something far greater than that. FIFA once dubbed it the essence of football rivalries, and they weren't joking. It is a battle for continental pride. A clash of playing styles, and a match that either builds or shatters legacies, and on that particular night, at Buenos Aires' raucous Estadio Más Monumental, that rivalry didn't just reawaken, it was utterly shattered, the reigning world champions, a team in magnificent form since their triumph in Qatar, faced a Brazilian powerhouse grappling with an identity crisis. What ensued was not merely a football match, it was a demolition, it was a statement. It was a historic 4-1 defeat that sent shockwaves through the footballing world. It wasn't just a victory, it was a message. At the epicenter of one of the world's most bitter rivalries, Argentina didn't just defeat Brazil, they handed them an unforgettable 4-1 thrashing that laid bare the internal turmoil of a superpower for the entire world to see. The world champions demonstrated to everyone that they remain the team to beat, and it all began with a goal scored just 4 minutes into the match. So, how did this derby unfold with such drama? Let's find out. From the moment the opening whistle blew, the atmosphere in Buenos Aires was electric. The weight of a century-old conflict could be felt in every touch and every tackle. Brazil, desperate to steer their faltering qualifying campaign back on track and remind everyone of the powerhouse they once were, took the field intent on asserting their dominance. But Argentina, already world champions and playing with the swagger that comes with it, had a different plan. They remained patient, waiting for the first sign of weakness, and they didn't have to wait long. The entire story of that night was written in just 4 minutes. It began with a moment of brilliance from Thiago, who spotted a tiny gap in the Brazilian defense, a defense that was playing just a little too aggressively. He delivered a magnificent through ball that sliced the defensive line in two. Bursting through was Julian Alvarez, known as the Spider, a player whose mind is just as dangerous as his right foot. With his very first touch, he glided past 2 defenders. With his second, the ball beat the helpless Brazilian goalkeeper, Bento, and nestled into the net. The entire stadium erupted in jubilation. The goal was simultaneously simple and spectacular. It came from Argentina's very first genuine attack of the match. It was a completely unexpected, lightning-fast strike. The Brazilian team was left stunned, utterly shell-shocked. Whatever their game plan might have been, it was shattered into pieces before they had even broken a sweat. For Argentina, it was a perfect start. They hadn't come merely to win, they had come to dominate. The world champions struck the first blow, and their great rivals, Brazil, were already in deep trouble. This early goal didn't just alter the scoreline, it completely shifted the momentum of the entire match. Already brimming with confidence, Argentina now began to play with a fluid, swaggering style. Their midfield took complete control of the game, passing the ball with such mesmerizing rhythm that the Brazilian players were left chasing shadows, with every pass slipping just beyond their reach. The frustration among the Brazilian players was visibly mounting, and this wasn't merely a passing game played for the fun of it. It was a calculated strategy designed to slowly bring Brazil to their knees. They pressed high up the pitch, maintained an aggressive stance, and turned every single Brazilian error into a fresh attacking opportunity. The team, renowned for its attacking flair, was reduced to merely launching hopeful long balls against Argentina's rock-solid defense. Yet these efforts yielded no result. Then came the second goal, a brilliant testament to Argentina's tactical prowess. The move originated deep within their own half, a lightning-fast transition from defense to attack that caught Brazil completely off guard. Noel Molina surged down the right flank and delivered a cross. Although the ball took a slight deflection, that was enough to sow panic within the Brazilian defense. And who arrived on the scene at that precise moment? Enzo Fernandez. He raced toward the ball and struck it with power, finding the back of the net to make the score 2-0. 2 former River Plate stars shining brightly for Argentina had delivered a truly extraordinary and peerless display of football. Their victory celebrations spoke volumes. They were neither wild nor reckless, rather, they reflected the calm confidence etched upon the faces of a team whose meticulously crafted game plan was unfolding to perfection. They knew they were the superior side, and they savored every moment of proving it. For Brazil, it felt like a nightmare unfolding in slow motion. The players clad in those iconic yellow jerseys looked utterly bewildered as their storied legacy was torn to shreds, piece by piece. For just a fleeting moment, it seemed as though Brazil might find a way back into the match. A rare lapse in Argentina's usually impeccable defense, a split second of hesitation from Christian Romero, and suddenly Matheus Cunha found himself bearing down on goal. He seizing the opportunity brilliantly. He scored for Brazil. The goal came completely against the run of play, a lifeline, it seemed, for a team that was sinking fast. For a few fleeting moments, a flicker of doubt seemed to ripple through the stadium. Could this be the beginning of one of Brazil's famous comebacks? Argentina did not panic. They felt insulted. They channeled that indignation into their game, and the result was devastating. Just 10 minutes after Cunha's goal, Argentina slammed shut every door to a Brazilian victory forever. Another exquisite passing sequence completely dismantled the Brazilian defense. A cross flashed into the box, and amidst the ensuing chaos, Alexis Mac Allister calmly slotted the ball into the net, making the score 3-1 and restoring their 2-goal lead. Whatever hope Brazil had left vanished instantly. It was the fatal blow that shattered their remaining aspirations. But Argentina was not finished yet. The final nail in the coffin was driven home by substitute Juliano Simeone late in the game. Capitalizing on Brazil's weary and demoralized defense, he scored a magnificent goal to make it 4-1. That goal served as a perfect microcosm of the entire night. Argentina's relentless pressure upon a Brazilian side that had long since given up. Brazil was utterly defeated. It was no longer a contest. It was a public humiliation. The final few minutes of the match felt less like a game and more like a celebration. The thunderous cheers of the home crowd in Buenos Aires, which had accompanied every simple pass Argentina made, now coalesced into a continuous chant of the battle was over. It was now merely an exhibition. Argentina controlled the tempo of the game with the calm self-assurance of a team that knew its work was done. No more frantic attacks, no more desperate defending, just a quiet, composed display of absolute dominance on the pitch. The contrast between the two teams was heartbreaking to behold. The Argentine players, many of whom were World Cup winners, played with immense ease and fluidity. Their faces bore smiles, a hint of swagger, and the genuine joy of not merely defeating their greatest rival, but utterly crushing them. Watching them, one felt as though they were a team at the absolute pinnacle of their powers, fully conscious of their status as the world's best. Conversely, the players in the yellow jerseys looked utterly shattered, their shoulders slumped, their heads hung low. Their fighting spirit had vanished, replaced by a silent resignation. They chased the ball without any genuine hope. Their legs felt heavy under the weight of the crushing defeat they had just suffered. The sound of the final whistle did not feel like a relief, rather, it felt like an act of mercy. Although it brought an end to the humiliation on the pitch, the players knew that the true humiliation, the internal shame, had only just begun, as Argentina embarked on a victory lap to celebrate this historic triumph with their fans. The Brazilian players simply wished to vanish. The reputation for supremacy they had once enjoyed lay completely shattered in the annals of the historic rivalry between Argentina and Brazil. This devastating 4-1 defeat will be remembered for reasons far exceeding the mere scoreline. It served as a resounding message from the world champions to both their rivals and the rest of the globe. Argentina was loudly declaring that their era of dominance, which had already yielded both Copa America and World Cup titles, was far from over. They were not merely champions, they were laying the foundations of a dynasty, playing with a style and an unparalleled aggression that few teams could hope to match. For Brazil, the match proved to be a catastrophic disaster, confirming the existence of a deeper crisis within the squad. This defeat saw them slip to 4th place in the qualifying standings, and their path to the World Cup suddenly became increasingly precarious. This was not merely a case of a bad match, it was a symptom of a much more profound underlying problem. This humiliation was so profound that, according to reports, their coach, Dorival Jr., was removed from his position just a few days later. This could mark the beginning of a shift in the balance of power within South American football. Through an extraordinary display of skill, Argentina has proven that they are a complete team and that their progress continues unabated. They have shown the world that their reign is far from over. This result has raised a burning question that lies at the very heart of this rivalry. We have just witnessed Argentina playing with the kind of confidence and dominance that was once the hallmark of Brazil. So, I must ask you, is this performance a testament to Argentina's growing strength? Or does it prove that Brazil's legendary magic known as has now officially become a thing of the past? Has it truly come to this? Did Argentina truly play that well? Or has Brazil lost its former luster and become a mere shadow of its former self? Share your thoughts, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more analysis of the biggest events in the football world.